Luke 8:17, Jesus said, "For nothing is hidden that will not become evident, nor anything secret that will not be known and come to light." These are the flying discs we've covered so far. The portrayal of these discs is from an underbelly perspective. In order to find the rest of the flying discs, we have to alter our visual perspective. There is a flying disc on this lamppost at Alexandra Palace. This perspective is seen as a side view or as a cutaway.
The lamppost also has a cross on it depicting the planet of the crossing.
This 5,600-year-old Sumerian stone carving clearly shows various forms of aircraft. The one at the top is startlingly alike to a helicopter. The one we're going to concentrate on for this exercise is this one here. It's clearly a side view perspective domed disc, and we will view it in context with what appears to be a three-legged stand beneath it.
As the carving is not three-dimensional, we can safely conclude that there would be a fourth leg,
or even three more legs, making six in total.
In a cryptological context, the stand beneath the saucer
Could also double as a depiction of propulsion. It is also apparent that the disc could leave the stand or return to it. This disc perfectly resembles the discs at either side of Jesus Christ in this blasphemous painting. The front of Alexandra Palace still has secrets to reveal. On each side of the main pyramid there is an arch-capped set of windows. Now compare their design to the 5,600-year-old stone carving from Sumeria. Please also note the winged discs on each side. These two red winged discs clearly attribute flight to this device. And from the correct perspective, it's easy to visualize these discs landing and taking off. The unlocking of the Alexandra Palace cryptography has far-reaching historical, religious and worldwide ramifications, as you're about to see. Viewing the disc from a side-on or cutaway perspective opens up a whole new world of possibilities. For instance, the Parthenon. Using the Sumerian and Alexandra Palace clues, we can conclude that the Parthenon is depicting a cutaway flying disc and its propulsion and or landing pad. We can also see various people, creatures and tall beings that look like people inside the cutaway. These tall beings were known as the Titans and Greek gods. However, they're also known as Nephilim, angels and abominations. This side view cutaway perspective of flying discs is found on buildings all over the world. Now view the Palm Court entrance with the same perspective of a side-on cutaway view. As you can see, it clearly depicts a flying disc and its propulsion and four-legged stand. And the flying disc depiction at the top once again clearly attributes flight to this device. Each leg of the four supporting arch pillars is made of 6 large stones. Once again we see the 4 sets of 6 cryptography in action. On closer inspection, further cryptological parallels become apparent. These two shapes here take on a duplicate meaning. On the one hand they depict wings for the half dome, and on the other they depict horns. The horns attribute ownership of these devices to Satan and his angels. The horns also symbolize power. When Satan tried to tempt Christ by offering him the whole earth in exchange for him worshipping Satan, Jesus refused and instead suffered to death on the cross in order to save us. Jesus would not betray our Father in heaven. By offering Jesus the whole earth, Satan was proclaiming his ownership on the earth. Using the winged disc as the identification mark, we can begin to get an idea of just how huge Satan's authority over the earth is. You will find flying wing depictions even outside your own front door. On fireplaces, on all great buildings, You will find the winged dome depiction even inside Vatican City. In parallel to the smaller discs at the side and at the front of the building, Alexandra Palace still has many more secrets. The large central discs at the front and back of Alexandra Palace also have these wings, stroke horns, but they are placed underneath. However, they also attribute flight to the large discs. The discs at the rear represent the eclipse that will happen when Nibiru passes between the Sun and the Earth, so the wings must represent the winged planet, Nibiru, or the horned planet, Nibiru. These wings are in fact inverted from their proper position. If we cross them over and remove the silver circle for clarity, you can see they take on the classic flying disc depiction shape. Crossing these wings over the lower and upper hemisphere of the large disc, it takes on the form of the wing disc and the horn disc. Once again a clear referral to Nibiru. On both the front and the back of the building there is a large silver circle, all the way around the red disc and all the way around the glass disc. Notice there are pillars to each side. Therefore the large silver disc's correct position, rather than vertical as depicted, is in fact horizontal. That disc would in fact rest upon pillars, and the whole device would act as a landing and takeoff platform. The large cutaway discs at the side of the building also have these silver circles, but they are depicted as half a circle, in order to blend in with the parallel. There are more cryptological depictions hidden here at the front of Alexandra Palace. Notice the pattern of continual squares inside the arch. This is the same pattern found on the large domes and structures of many of the world's greatest buildings. Let's take a look inside the dome at St. Paul's Cathedral. As you can see, all around the outside edge there are pillars. The pillars are supporting a circle. All around the circle there are flying disc depictions. And finally the two-part circle in the middle. The outer part is filled with hexagons, and the inner part emits light. You are in fact standing inside the landing and launch pad, looking up at the underside of a flying disc. Luke 8:16, the illustration of the lamp. Jesus said, "No one would light a lamp and then cover it up or put it under a bed. No, lamps are mounted in the open, where they can be seen by those entering the house. For everything that is hidden or secret will eventually be brought to light and made plain to all. So be sure to pay attention to what you hear. To those who are open to my teaching, more understanding will be given, but to those who are not listening, even what they think they have will be taken away from them." And all this, as you're about to see in part 5, is just the tip of the iceberg.